don't make these same financial regrets.
I like how we never start with hello before we start saying that. But yeah, don't. Hi guys, how you doing? It's me, Bry. This is Lina.
Yes.
I wonder if they heard that or not. Anyway, yeah, don't start with bad financial regrets. I have a lot myself.
Yeah.
A lot of debt.
Just learn from the mistakes of other people because they're sharing with you their financial regrets. One of mine is just taking out student loans. I'm really glad that I was able to pay it off.
Yep, and mine is credit card debt. I'm paying it off still. Anyway, let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get into it.
These are the top 10 financial regrets of Americans, so you can avoid them, part 2. Left off on number 6, which was buying a car without knowing what's involved. And I think this is especially relevant because a lot of people don't understand that typically when you buy a car, you're going to end up having to take a car loan. So the sticker price of the car that you see is not what you're going to pay in the long run. And it's super important to know what that end cost is actually going to be before you decide to buy a car. Number 5 is overspending on credit cards that I can't afford to repay. I also feel like this is super applicable to our generation because I see so many people just throwing expenses on credit cards and not really thinking about paying them back on time. Number 4 is defaulting on payments and ending up in debt collection. I think that speaks for itself. That's just bad news altogether. Number 3 is buying cheap goods, probably because more expensive things tend to last longer. Number 2 is not paying attention to my credit score. And number 1 was not starting a retirement plan while I'm young. I think this one especially goes back to number 10 because the earlier to start planning for retirement and investing is when you're young. These are the top 10.
It really is.
And here's the biggest issue. It's not young people's fault for not investing and stuff because no one tells us where to look and no one teaches us in the first place. So
exactly, the education is lacking in that area.
Yeah, and even if you're looking it up, it's so hard to figure out which one's right, which one's wrong.
Exactly. We need a whole class for this.
Yeah, for real, because these people on the internet, basically, these gurus are not telling you the right things. They need you to make them bank.
Exactly. But it's actually really easy to check your credit score, so you definitely want to do that, especially if you plan on taking out any loans in the future, like a mortgage or any other car loans.
Yeah.
And even renting. So yeah, you kind of do need your credit score for that. But you really want to get rid of the credit cards if you have a good enough credit score and you don't have self-control to use it moderately.
Yeah. If you get in debt, throw away those credit cards and just pay your credit card and don't use anything on the credit card.
For real, but credit monitoring is really important because people can open up things in your name like loans and all of that.
Yeah.
Scammers are out there. You just had the data leak of everyone's SSNs not too long ago. So check your credit scores and freeze your credit. Yeah.
For real.
Credit karma.
All I gotta say. Also, I want to ask this because I still don't know. Is it true that checking your credit score lowers your credit score?
It doesn't lower it on Credit Karma and apps like that, but it lowers it if you have to, if an organization has to check your credit, because there will be a soft credit pull or a hard credit pull.
Oh, okay. So it's basically kind of a lie.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that used to happen, but I don't know what other way it would happen at this point.
Okay, that's all I need to know because I still didn't know. Isn't it? But yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're to talk about the truth behind my finances. Why am I nervous? I have always been really into finance. I started investing at the age of 18. During university, I was putting in the work. I spent 5 years working part-time at TD Bank. I also studied finance in university. And I think 20-year-old me would have expected 24-year-old me to be in a bit of a different position. But let me tell you why. The very first mistake I made when it came to money was listening to people with different goals than mine. I was talking to a friend and about how our portfolios are split up, and I had a bunch in just a regular high-yield savings account, and they were like, why would you do that? Invest it. So I did. I withdrew everything from my savings, and I put everything into investments. That decision came with a level of financial anxiety that I was not anticipating whatsoever. I actually think think I have a lot of financial anxiety, which is why I'm talking about this. Essentially, that was my emergency fund, and I had just gotten rid of it and invested it into the market. We've seen how quickly you can get laid off. We've seen what the economy is like, and for my peace of mind, I need to have those 6 months of expenses saved up. In 2022, I went on 5 trips. I was doing a whole lot. Myself an entire new wardrobe because I started working. And in retrospect, 1 year of living beyond your means will change everything. And let me just say this, it is very humbling to say all of this on an internet where everybody is pretending to be bad and bougie and rich. It's taking a lot of vulnerability. Into that year, I realized I actually had to pull from my investments to pay for some of the decisions I was making. And that was a big fat L, and that is something I will never do again. And again, I studied finance, like I knew better, but I wasn't acting better. Now here's a major consideration. I got to travel to 5 different places. That's what money's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring you experiences. It's 2024, and I can't lie, I feel like I'm playing a game of catch up. I know I'm in a much better position now, but there often still arises that feeling of like I should be doing more, I should have more in my bank account. Lifestyle inflation is so real, and it catches up to you when you don't even see it coming. I hope this also serves as a reminder that social media truly is a highlight reel. I talk so much about finances that so many people just think I'm like super proficient, super wealthy. Just about controlling what you can do now and not the mistakes you made in the past. Bye. That was stressful.
People really do forget that the most. I like to say this, like she said about social media. If you're not like, if you basically talk about your own life, you're not gonna talk about bad things. I know a lot of negativity on the internet, but when it comes to people talking about themselves, they're not gonna talk back about themselves. They're gonna show the good things. So be careful with that.
Bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie internet people.
Yeah.
Because they only want to show the good, and that's why the internet is like mostly fake.
Mostly fake? More like completely fake. Anyway.
Believe nothing that you see online. But yeah, it's never a good idea to take all of your money and emergency fund out of your account.
No.
Only invest the portion that you don't need for like a really long time. If you have a 6-month emergency fund, then you can invest like everything after that.
No, truly, because that honestly, that I get she was like jumping the gun, but that I feel like that's as he said, that's a really dumb, really bad idea to do, especially with like your emergency fund. If you're gonna be taking that out, take it out of like maybe like a checking, maybe take only like a small percentage and then add that up, save that up to invest.
Exactly. Invest everything after that, and then minus the emergency fund and like the money that you have available to spend.
And the sad thing is too, she said she had a high yield savings account. Oh, your words. But and then her friends told her, "Hey, you have all of it in a high yield savings account. What about your investments? Don't listen to people.
Don't listen to friends, please."
Legit, she had it right. She could have kept it in there and also put money into an investment. But they told her you have all your stuff in that, and then she's like, she questioned herself. Don't second guess yourself.
Exactly. And you should start with like a small amount because you never can predict the market.
No. It'll end up bad one day. Most likely tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say.
It can change so quickly.
I really regret telling my boyfriend my business because there was a financial situation that he helped me with. And now that I want something, like I put a couple of things in the Amazon cart, right? And then he didn't get them. He got the stuff for him and he didn't get them for me. And I texted him, I said, hey, I put those stuff in the Amazon cart because I wanted you to get them. And then, you know what he told me? He was like, you don't need, I didn't get them because I didn't feel like you needed those things. Let's stay focused because I have a couple of debts that needs to be cleared up and I owe the government back, stuff like that. But I regret telling him my business strictly because of that, because now you can dictate what you feel like I need or don't need. And that right there just feels like a parent thing to do. And this is why I'm just having a lot of resentment with him helping me, because he can now dictate what I need or don't need in my life. And that's just, I don't fucking like that.
That's very real.
Yeah.
That's very real. Here's the issue, especially with relationships and money. You need to come to a consensus. I cannot say that word.
Consensus?
Thank you. I cannot say that word for life of me. That in a discussion. Because that right there, that could be a red flag. Because a lot of dudes like to take women who have no financial freedom and just control them. It's the other way around with women too. They like doing that to men. You need to come to a consistency in a talk, and if they can't come to a talk and act like they need to parent you, don't be with them. You can't.
Exactly. Like people just love controlling other people. So sometimes you just shouldn't share anything with other people, especially like if it's a relationship like girlfriend, boyfriend. Maybe you should just wait to share all that stuff till you're actually married.
Yeah, because legit at this point, it don't even affect him. It do not affect him.
Exactly.
Yes, he may ask for help, but now it's over. Like, come on.
They try to steal all your money or whatever, at least you would have rights if you're married and even like in the event of a divorce.
For real. So this sucks.
Yeah.
Always have your own stuff, ladies and dudes. Either one. Everybody. Have your own stuff and you have your stuff together. Make sure you keep those separate. Keep them secret too, actually.
Yeah.
You never know who wants to do what to you. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Protect yourself.
For real.
If there is one financial regret I have in my almost 30 years of living, it would be spending $30,000 on a wedding. The wedding industry has all of us girlies in a chokehold, making us feel like we need to prove something to everyone around us and have this massive, expensive, beautiful wedding. I fell under that and became brainwashed and went from eloping and having something casual and under $5K to having this $30K wedding in San Francisco with only 50 people. At the end of the day, I look back at this and I think about how much of that money I could have used for something so much more valuable, like a honeymoon, investing, paying for our businesses that we're trying to grow, anything. I know it's wedding season right now, and I just want to put this out into the universe, and if you're seeing this, it's probably a sign. If your wedding planning isn't about you and your spouse, and it's about everybody else, don't do it. Just elope and save their money. If there is
I feel I'm going to let you take the ring on this because I know you got some more to say about weddings.
Could not be me. This mess does not have me in the chokehold because ain't no way was I paying anywhere near that for my wedding. Heck no. I'm good with just eloping.
Yeah. Honestly, at the end of the day, I enjoyed our wedding because it was really sentimental. First place we ever had a date at was a prom, same building. But at the end of the day, like what was like 11, 15,000? Something like around
15.
that. 15. Not 15.
No.
I forgot number. I cannot go to numbers. I couldn't calculate all of it. Good thing your dad came through with the rest of the money because that,
Yeah, because there's just no way. It's not that serious. Everyone can complain and talk and say whatever. That was the worst wedding I ever been to, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and are you going to pay me the money to pay off the debt that I'll be in with $30K?
$30K, bro. That is a down payment on a house. That is a whole car. That's actually a whole payment for a car.
Yeah.
It's actually a new car, actually. So that's ridiculous.
There's so many better things you can spend it on. Like, money can't buy love, right? But then we out here spending crazy on the weddings. Like,
if I marry you and I'm in shit debt because you kept spending so much money on the wedding, your money you bought sadness and hate.
because all anyone ever says is, well, you need to get the best of the best because this isn't going to happen again, hopefully. And it's a once in a lifetime event and blah, blah, blah. Like, every time they said that, like, you're not selling me anything because I can spot the marketing.
For real.
It's so easy to see.
So for real, it's the funniest thing too. When they say it's like a once in a lifetime thing, I can get divorced. I can do it again. What are you talking about once in a lifetime?
And who cares? Because it's an event. It is not the love that you share with your partner. You can't buy that. So you cheaping out on the event does not mean anything.
For real, the biggest thing that was not the biggest thing, but one of the things that was love for me was the place we had our first date at. That's it. Basically, everything else was for everyone else. and I do kind of regret it too.
Yeah.
Not really. I love being married to her, but at the end of the day, y'all, not a lot of people even come.
Exactly.
So now I'm mad.
$65 per person.
Yeah, so we're basically missing out on like $300 worth of. We need $300 worth of refund.
It's all ridiculous. Like, it's for nobody. Like, you're doing this for everybody else, but yourselves. So you should do what's best for yourself.
Yep.
And if you're planning on getting a house, how about this? Buy the house and then host a wedding inside the house and the backyard. Just have it all opened up.
At this point, just elope and then have a party, because that's what you're doing in the first place. That's all I gotta say.
For real, because this mess right here, what's better is if you're serious about the relationship and the event and all of that, do something that's going to set yourselves up for the future instead of getting divorced over finances.
Come to agreement and make a budget. You don't have to spend $20,000, which is the estimated average total. You don't need to do that.
For real, this is why, like, a lot of couples, well, most couples are breaking up over finances, and this is probably the main reason why, because y'all put yourselves into debt even before you're married.
Yep.
And then what happens when the engagement is called off? Like, y'all both just gonna be in debt for a wedding that you're not even attending.
I was gonna say refund, but even if you get a refund, you're gonna be a percentage still debt, because they're not gonna give you all the money back.
Yeah, some of them won't give you any refund. Some of them only give you like a percentage of the refund up until like how close it is to the wedding date.
Yeah, well, how much was ours if we had like canceled? It was gonna be like 8,000 maybe if it was a couple earlier weeks.
Yeah, it just depended on the date for us. So, but if it's like, I think it was like maybe if it's 6 months or less away, then you don't get any refund. You're stuck now.
That's crazy.
Ain't no way.
I'm 27 and I have collected many regrets throughout the years, but these are my top 3 financial regrets in my 20s. You know, I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I'm not rich by any means, but we're getting there. If only I had a time machine and I can go back in time and not get in a car crash. Then have like a fun little walk down memory lane, because this happened Christmas Eve of 2021. This is so painful. It's such a financial regret because my car payment was $244. And now it's $490. I was buying my car. I was like, no, I need to get an SUV because I'm traumatized from the car accident that I was just in. And I need a big car so that I actually feel safe when I'm driving. Silly little me thought that this wouldn't be that big of a difference financially, but it was. Next one happened before the times of me being a financially literate girly. I didn't realize that you had to invest the money once you put it into a Roth IRA. Nobody told me. My parents didn't tell me. My parents don't even have Roth IRAs, I don't think. Looking at a difference of 4 years, if invested for 40 years versus 44 years, I lost, I don't know, like a little under $3,000 in investment returns. And it was such a doy moment when I realized that the money was just sitting there. Like, I think I was actually so genuinely angry for days after figuring this out. This last one is not tracking my money in my 20s. I would just go off and do shit like this and spend $500 at free people.
It is very hard to see.
Okay, so you basically wasted $444 and then $40 calculating it. I don't know what that calculation is. $869.
What the heck?
I have no idea what that calculation is. I don't know.
On payday. I would wait up until the paycheck hit my bank account. I would stay up until like 1 a.m. just so that I could buy something. Oh. And then I didn't even realize the financial impact because I had nothing to track my money. Versus now, this is a core habit, core routine that I do every single week. And I wish I would have started doing this a lot sooner in my 20s. I'm 27 and I have collected many regrets throughout the years, but these
I think that's the end. I can't tell.
See.
It's a white on white background.
are my top 3 financial regrets.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, we should all be tracking that. So that's a nice little tracker, and you can make one in Excel.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Well, I got Excel free because I got Windows. I'm pretty sure most computers come free Excel. So.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they have templates, and maybe like online you can copy and paste.
Yep, I'm gonna do that because I'm not making all that stuff by hand. I regret. I refuse to do that. Okay, here's something I gotta say, and I'm not trying to yap. If you get in a car wreck, yes, he got SUV because he felt safer. That's fine. There's cheap options. How do you get up to 400 after coming from 200?
Ain't no way. Honestly, after like, if I have a total car, what I would actually want to do, especially if it's a new vehicle, I would want to like scale down because it will just be very real that something like this could happen at any time, and then I've lost all of my money because I decided to get a new car.
She had $4,000 left on her payment, which It's still a lot. So how much was that car?
I know people that have gotten their car totaled, and then like the insurance covers like certain amount, but then they still went out and bought a completely brand new car just because of like, I don't know, I guess part of it was covered maybe, but they still have like so much in money in debt because it's a new car and they don't cover all of it.
For real. Also, what's this gap insurance on all cars? What's gap insurance?
Gap insurance is like if you totaled the car and you have a loan still on it, it will cover like the remaining amount. Like the amount of loan you owe more on the car than what it's worth, I think, and then they will cover that. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I get the gist of it. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, it's really hard to explain because I know it's something like that.
Gap kids.
No. Gap insurance.
No, I don't want to use process location.
Bruh. It's an optional product that is intended to cover the difference between the amount you owe on your auto loan and the amount the insurance company pays if your car is stolen or totaled. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But start tracking stuff because in your 20s and you just like going spending everything like crazy, it's not a good idea. You should definitely start tracking things as soon as you get a job or like start handling money. So maybe even like 16.
Also, okay, so are you done with that fact stuff? I don't want to interrupt your process. I did not know you had to invest with the Roth IRA. I did not know you had to invest with it. I thought that was just put money here and save it up. So, okay, I'm so glad this video played.
Yeah, that's what everyone makes it seem like.
Because I was trying to do it recently with Robinhood. Didn't do it correctly. They tried to pull like $20 out my account.
Dang.
Anyway, because I got all that money back anyways because it was an accident. Now I know if I'm going to put money into it, I got to invest it too.
Yeah. Start the financial education, training, and knowledge and all of that very young, please, because you don't want to be in your 20s ruining your life just buying whatever just because you have adult money now.
For real. Some people got to learn it the hard way.
Yeah. Educate your kids on loans too, please.
Please do.
And money, just everything, because people are so unprepared now, and this is why parents can't teach their kids about money anymore.
We knew somebody who didn't know what about credit. She didn't realize they had a credit card to have credit.
Yeah.
Didn't give a credit card to like last year, right?
Yeah. Times are tough. It's getting worse for everyone out here. Please. We gotta start being educated.
22 without credit. Crazy.
Crazy, bro.
Don't make this same mistake that I made. I look around me and so many people, especially our young people, are making this same mistake. This mistake can make...
I know you don't like me pausing the video while it's playing, but I like to say, if this guy is talking as slow as I think he is, I see the comments, he's going to be talking this fast for the entire 4-minute video.
What is going on? And who said you couldn't pause the video? The heck?
It makes it harder for editing. That's all I'm going to say.
Does it?
Not really.
You poor forever. This one single mistake, many of you are making it will keep you poor forever. And until you break this barrier and avoid this mistake, you will never be okay.
That's why the video.
What was the mistake?
Yeah, it probably would have been.
Let me tell you a story. I joined Chevron March 2000. Wow, how time flies. That's many years ago. That's 24 years ago plus. Okay. So usually in those days, I don't know whether Chevron still does that. If you join the company, they will give you a car grant. That grant was enough for you to buy a car. Chevron gave me a car grant 6 months after I joined. And guess what I did? I went to the Chevron cooperative, of which I was a member, borrowed more money, added to it, and bought an SUV. How stupid, how could I have? I did. But I remember there was a wiser person who took his own money, plunged it into an investment. The stock market was doing very good, very well in those days, and I was actually a late comer to the stock market. 5 years later, he offloaded his share, and around that time, there were a couple of IPOs, and some companies were coming to market, and they were doing really very well. He offloaded his shares and bought a house. From that car grant, perhaps with a little more consolidation. What did I have? A car, an old SUV, in fact, which I ended up selling because, yeah, you use it first year, second year, you get tired of it. So he had a house, and I had an old car, which I even had to sell off. So do you see what that mistake is? It's called lack of delayed gratification. If you cannot delay gratification, forget it. I see many people, once they make a little money, maybe they do something and they make a little money online, the very first thing, iPhone 17, is it 17 or 18 now? iPhone 17 straight away. I don't even know how much it is, but it's in the millions. Now, or they do a little job and then some money comes in. First thing, car. Delay gratification. You don't have anyone to prove anything to. And you don't have to be like other people. Because if you make that money today, that money can set you up for life if you invest it properly. And then ultimately, these things you want to have, your investment can pay for it. But once you get capital and you consume it immediately to buy these consumables, that's foolishness. But once you can cultivate that discipline of saving and investing, at some point, it is your investments, the dividends of your investments, that will be paying for those things passively. That is what freedom looks like and feels like. But whatever happens,
What's that gap?
keep showing up because you have no idea what's coming your way next. And I'll talk to you real soon.
Real soon, he meant the sentence because he's going to take another long gap.
Dang, bro.
I'm not going to lie, that actually went way faster than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 minutes, so.
4 minutes. And see, this is the thing I'm talking about. See, you get stuff. You think, that's good. They gave me this. I can use it for this. I would have never guessed my grant could have been used for shares and that could have been offloaded to buy me a house. I would have never guessed that.
Passive income. That's how you do it. That's why we need financial education.
For real.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
That's investment for you.
For real.
Invest your money. This is why it's so important, because things will just start paying for itself, and then you will have passive income, and you can fall back on that anytime, like during a layoff or you need extra money for anything.
For real. And you know, I gotta say this, like for real, it is just one mistake. A bad investment can do a lot of things for you.
Yeah.
My mom has a bad investment. It didn't completely destroy her. It didn't do much because he didn't do much to it. It was
What?
the vodka company, the vodka bottle she has on the shelf. That was an investment
Oh.
to a company. I have not heard of that company, and that she got that mess back when I was in like 8th, 9th, 10th grade.
Oh my gosh. How much money did she put into that?
I don't think she put much, but it's still at the end of the day, not much stuff.
Bruh.
I gotta say that. I have not heard nothing about that company ever since.
That's crazy. See, this is why you do the research and like look at various investment options, because it's not, especially if she put like a really big amount into that, like you need to diversify your portfolio rather than just putting all of your money into one thing.
Mm.
That's why they say houses are bad investments, because you're basically like putting your life savings into it.
Yeah. Yo, if this video gets like 500 views, I will taste one of the bottles of vodka. I feel like that mess is bad too. I'm gonna be real.
Probably is.
All I gotta say, I'm not trying to be a hater, but that's all I gotta say.
Dang.
I'll try it on camera.
Alright, next video.
I really ruined myself financially in my 20s. Here's why. In my 20s, I had, oh God, do I have some Pokeball sauce on my beard? Anyways, in my 20s, I really had no concept of personal finance. I thought that my main goal was to increase my salary and I would be okay. Needless to say, I was a bit of a dumbass. There was a point, I think in my 20s, my savings, like my total savings. Luckily, I was good with contributing to my 401k because my mom kept getting on my case about it. I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll put money into my 401k. But that was actually really good because that was one good financial habit that I did do. But my savings rate, what I'm trying to get to is my savings account, and I'm just kind of blabbering at this point. I never exceeded around, I would say, $12,000 because I would usually spend it, and I had no concept, I had no long-term vision of where do I want to be. So, long story short is I had savings, my career was going up, I made more money, but my spending also went up. So this is mistake number 2 is lifestyle creep. Mistake number 1 is not actually saving enough money or just keeping my savings at a set amount. So by the time I became 27, I wanted to start my own business because I was tired of corporate America. I want to be free, all this shit. I actually ended up at 44K in debt. And then from 2019, now I'm in my 30s, right? I spent around 2 years just paying off that debt. So that's mistake number 3, if I'm counting correctly. It's getting into heavy debt. And to this day, like my net worth is, I'm not going to reveal it on this channel or on this account, but I'm definitely a few $100,000 below what it could have been had I been a lot more smart in my 20s. Like, I'm not going to cry over not investing and buying Bitcoin when it was a few $100 each or $1,000 each, like in 2016 or 2015. But I will say that I made a lot of dumb financial mistakes in my 20s. Luckily, the good thing that I did do was I did max out my 401k, which has had pretty good returns at this moment. You never know. But at least I did that right. But to really recap, I got into heavy debt. I didn't save past a certain fixed amount. I also had lifestyle creep. These are 3 things that I would say if you're younger or even right now, if you're in your 30s or 40s, don't fall into that trap because you could be actually giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road. So learn from my mistakes. Sometimes, honestly, I just feel this pressure in life because I'm not where I want to be financially. That's more of a mindset thing. But I would also say in my 20s, I did kind of mess up a little bit, and we learn from my mistakes and, don't repeat them, and you will be in a much better financial position in your 30s versus where I am right now.
See, it's so relatable at the end of the day because you really get adult money. You're adult. You're over the age of 18. You're making adult money. And you finally have freedom, especially if you grew up like me, family, I was affected by recession and stuff. You think you can just do stuff and you don't realize that maybe you should start saving this money correctly.
Yeah, see, this is why I never made that mistake, because my goal was to always just be financially stable. And especially when I got to the adult years, like I knew I was going to be on my own soon. So like I better start saving. But I really started saving since I was very little. I kept like every piece of money everybody gave me because it wasn't really for like when I'm an adult. It was just more like if I find something that I really want one day, then I don't want to spend it because then I can get that.
Yeah. It's legit like what's that one thing that people say, basically, especially the black community, I'm gonna buy my mama a house when I get money.
Yeah.
Well, can you afford that house, sir?
No.
I can't. Don't think you can. That's why a lot of people, especially like people get caught who don't have money before. They got money, they can finally do the things, get the things they need, get the things they want.
Yeah.
And then they miss the margin. They miss the margin every time.
Yeah. That's why it's just really important to start saving as soon as you reach like the even close to the adult years. You want to have as much money saved up as possible. And you don't want to be spending like multiple years of your life paying off the debt, because then that's less of the salary that you are able to keep, and you are just working, slaving away because of debt.
Yep. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not one bit.
Yeah, please.
That's the end of the video?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. That's the end of the video.
Thank you for watching.
I was going to ask what the takeaway is from this, but yeah, thanks you for watching. I ain't got no takeaway from this.
I mean, takeaway is to don't make these same mistakes.
I guess that's a takeaway.
Yeah, learn from their mistakes.
I was going to say sometimes money just sucks.
I mean, yeah, it does, but this is why start early, do your research, and save, track your spending. Don't be buying stuff that you don't need.
No.
Like, for real.
I'm going to be real, I'm not a intellectual when it comes to money. Stuff sucks. Anyway.
Stop doing the lifestyle creep thing, because as soon as you make more money, you're upgrading your lifestyle and all of this. If I was a billionaire, I would be in the same lifestyle you see here. The only difference is I would be in a house, a modest house.
Yep.
That's it. The rest going into investments and donations.
The craziest thing in your house that has a second floor.
Nothing else, no crazy fancy furniture or appliances. It's all going to be the same. I'm still looking at deals. I'm getting the cheapest one that I can find that's still functional.
That's all I got to do. That's all I got to do. Honestly, I kind of agree with you. I'm just going to get like a little bit bigger house.
Oh my god.
And then a game console, and that's about it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Like, just because you're a billionaire does not mean that money is unlimited.
I know.
It is always limited.
Just two things. That's it. Just two things.
Yeah, anybody can lose their money. Like, billionaires aren't above it. Nobody's above it.
Oh, actually, that brings me something, because someone said something about Apple investment earlier. That guy who talked for a long time. You know the guy who was he had shares in Apple. And this was before they took off, and then he sold his shares, and then they skyrocketed, and now he is so broke. He has no money. The most money he had was a rare collection of pennies.
Oh my god!
And that go up to like 100,000, and that got stolen.
See, this is why I dread doing all of these investments, because it's just too much. I'm gonna go crazy.
He went from top of the level to flat broke. It's that easy. All it took was one unlucky decision.
And you never know. You can never predict the market. And the same thing with houses. It's basically almost the same, because you don't know if your house is going to appreciate. Not every house appreciates, and you don't know when is the best time to sell and all of that. It's just a lot. Everything that is an investment is going to be a big risk also.
Yeah. I'd like to say this as well. This last thing I gotta say is, if you see that things aren't going, keep good track of your finances. If you see things are going downhill, you gotta change your lifestyle, like, fast. Don't let it creep up when you don't do it last second.
Yeah. Always just get the best deal, because you never know what's gonna happen in the future, and you need to save as much money as possible.
For real. And watch those investments. Make sure you ain't getting scammed.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you for watching.
Like, comment, and subscribe on this video.
Yes, and share it, and let us know if you have any financial regrets.
I will,
educate the people.
Yeah, and once again, as I said earlier in this video, if we get like at least 500 views on this video, I'll try that disgusting looking vodka on my mom's shelf.
Yeah, that should be fun.
I don't even drink.
Bruh, me neither.
It's gonna burn.
Well. And get us to 1,000 subscribers.
For real. You know what? Let's get one video to 1,000 views. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and spending time with us. Leave. Bye.
Bye.